what exactly is needed, okay, to ensure that Nigerian coaches, Nigerian football, what exactly does development mean to you when it comes to football in Nigeria, in Africa? And what do you think our coaches need to do to bring about this development in the coaching sector? A lot of people complain about the kind of football that Toby, we're going live. So they complain about the football that was played at the under 20s, then at the under 20s, and Landon Boso is one of the best coaches you can talk about. You know, in Nigeria, is even the president of Nigerian Coaches Association. So what exactly could be done? I was hoping we could learn from the Gambian example, but unfortunately, my friend Barch is yet to join. So hopefully, whenever he joins, this discussion, I'll be trying to, tap from his, experience. So for you, Benga, what does development means when it comes to football and also coaching? What does it mean to you?
So development in itself simply means, or in the right sense of the word itself, without looking at any context, it means making sure you are moving from one step to another. Now, development could also be linear in terms of movement, right? So I think when we talk about football developments in Africa, it's usually starts with the grassroots or the younger players or the feeder teams, as we see over here. So I think what is essential the most is the fact that experience from the younger age translates into experience when they get to the senior team. Now, I think the disparity in the transition from the younger teams to the senior team is where we fail over here in Nigeria, using Nigeria as a case study. And what happens is, most of the time, this bunch of under 17, under 20, or whatever the case may be, they go on, they perform well, but after the tournaments, they spread out, and then we don't hear from them again. Now, what happens is, even the best players from that crop of squad ends up in different places, and then when they end up in the senior team, they don't have the same impact because they're in a different level.
Okay. Well, hello. Good afternoon to you, sir. I'm doing very fine. Well, my name is Bunmi, and unfortunately, I couldn't really prep you up that I will be bringing you live on radio, because you're live now on radio. You're live on 95.1 Nigeria Info Abuja. And Abuja, we have one man who was part of the success of the Senegalese national team, be it the senior national team or the junior national team, the under 17, the under 20. Whoa. Okay, I think we lost that call. Hopefully, we'll be able to get him back. An executive committee member of the Senegalese Football Federation. Okay, I'm trying to bring him online because we could not get Botch to talk to us. Mata Mbog, the Gambian former Gambian national under 20 and under 17, team head coach. But let me see if we can get Samsidine Diattar, an FA executive committee member from Senegal, to talk to us, about football development in Senegal and how they've been doing it in Senegal. Hello, good afternoon to you, sir. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you once again, Abuja. We have executive committee member of Senegal, Samsidine Diattar. Welcome to 95.1 Nigeria Info, Abuja.
Yes.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm doing very fine. Congratulations on the success of the Senegalese team. Especially the recent one where you beat Nigeria in the opening game. I was hoping we will qualify for the finals and beat you back, but unfortunately it did not happen. Yeah, I was hoping.
Thank you.
But were you scared that if Nigeria had qualified for the finals, Nigeria would have defeated Senegal?
Everything is possible, my friend, because, just like this kind of experience, we had it in 2019 because we played the final in 2019.
Yeah.
And we were in the same group with Mali. We beat them in the group, and then we play in the final. So they beat us in the final. So anything can happen. And I was caring that we meet Nigeria in final, because I don't like that kind of situation, meeting a team in a group and meet them again at the final. So thank God to give us Gambia so that we won the trophy.
Okay, fantastic. Would you mind if you join us on Zoom so that we can also see you, because we are live on YouTube now?
No, right now, I'm in a place where I'm not sure that it can be possible for me to be in YouTube.
No.
Because,
No.
My phone is always ringing. So
yes, I remember. I remember in Tanzania, every minute it was always ringing and ringing and ringing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
And for the kind of job you do.
Yeah, that's the question.
Exactly. But let's go straight. Let's go straight. I mean, Senegal is the signature of all eyes. I mean, Senegal, Morocco. I mean, with what Morocco did at the World Cup, talking about African teams now. But Senegal have shown that Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Senegal has shown that probably you have, a way of developing, your players and making them into a good team, including the coaching. So how have you been able to achieve the success you've achieved in recent times? Went to the World Cup, did well. The AFCON, you won it. The beach soccer, you won it. Under 20, you won it. I think I'm missing one again. Which other one?
Yeah.
The Chan.
You see, yeah, for sure. You see, the question is, we understand that, in football, we have to begin things in the roots, because we have been looking for all those trophies. We couldn't be able to get them. So what is to be done is just to work on the academies and work hard in the academies so that we can develop all those players, trying to make them performant, and so that in national team they can win. That's why our academies, just like Ivory Coast, in some years they have that academy called where Aruna Dindane, Yaya Toure, all those players come from. So we did the same, and we have so many academies here, and we focus on the age of the players, because sometimes, it's a problem in Africa. What we have to do is, if a player cheat in age, he will be sacked from the academy. So this make us, and even at school as well, when you are in the academy, you have to perform as well at school. So because school and football can go together. You see? So from that we just try, we work, we try and all those players, just like Sadio Mane and all those players from academies to Olympic Games in 2012, you see, and now they match up so that they win the African Cup of Nations. So from those examples, all the youngest, are working hard to be like Sadio, because Sadio is a big example. It's a gift from God. So all the players now are working hard in Sadio. So that one is really beautiful.
Fantastic. You talk about many academies. What are the prerequisites? What do you need to do? Are these academies in Senegal government-owned academies, or they are individually owned?
No, not government. It's an academy. It's individual academies. So we have just like Generation Foot, where Sadio Mane was, just like Jambaz, where Ghana Gay was, just like Dakar Sacré-Cœur, just like Oslo, just like Darussalam. So many academies here, and it is competitive, Everyone is trying to be the best. So when everyone is trying to be the best, you see all the players will have good product. So even the FA is looking to get an academy, its own academy. FA. We are doing the detection to get the pay, the younger players to make academy of the FA Academy. That way we have to train them until 17 years or 18 years old, and then let them go to the clubs here in Premier League or second division or overseas. Why not?
Okay. Abuja, we have right online from Senegal, an executive committee member of the Senegalese FA, Samsidine Diattar. just explaining to us how Senegal has been able to dominate Africa, right? He says they do things right from the root. Now, sir, in Nigeria, we also have a whole lot of academies, but we don't seem to get the kind of result you get in Senegal right now. So what role does the FA there in Senegal play when it comes to setting up and regularizing, academies?
First of all those coaches in those academies must be trained. Any kind of field in the world need well-trained people. So we have to train our coach. We have to train all those people involved in those academies for them to know exactly what is their mission, what is their roles. When they understand their roles and when they understand what is exactly what they have their mission, things will come better. So we train them. And also the regulation should be, we have to regulate all the academies for them to be at the standard of international academies. Just like if you go to Europe, you find some academies. They have to be at the same level, the same standard of those academies. Not just like everyone get up and just found an academy just like, okay, this is my academy. No, you have to respect all regulation to know exactly what you have to do, because you are holding kids, and kids education is the whole base, the key base of all development. So you have to respect those skills of human being development.
Okay.
And as well have really good infrastructures and where they have to learn, where they have to train, and those who are involved to be trained as well for them to be at the level of what we are expecting.
Okay. You talked about training of coaches. You also talked about some level. You have to attain some things before you can float an academy rather. I just want to ask, what are these qualities? For example, do I need to have a pitch? Do I need to have a coach that has a qualification? Do I need to have a school or something? What are these prerequisites for you to be able to own an academy, out there in Senegal, just like Generation Food, and the likes of them?
For example, if you go to Generation Food, you will find it's just like if you go to Real Madrid or Manchester, what you can find in Manchester Academy or Generation Real Madrid Academy, you can find it in Generation Food Academy, because those players, those young boys are trained to go to Europe. So once they go to Europe, they won't be disappointed, because they will find all the same kind of training places, all kind of material they use here in academy. They have to find them there, so that if they go systematically, automatically they are in the standard, they are in the level of those players in Europe. So if you compare, for example, to generations, they have school. If the kids must be educated, they must go to school. If you don't have good average, you won't play. So playing is linked to the education, because and now football is linked to education. If you are not educated, sometimes the system of coaches and all those stuff with explanation, maybe they won't understand exactly how to, and maybe you will be lost in the way of being professional. So we emphasize on education. We have to emphasize on education, because the boys have to study, have to go to school. So the one who want to be to play in the team must have good marks in at school. So that one is very, very important, because the level of education of boys' education is very important in football now.
Okay, so I'm sure a lot of Africans are listening to you right now, and they will want to learn the secret of the Senegalese, national team. I mean, just like the Moroccans, we know they spent billions of dollars, trying to develop their national teams and also develop infrastructure. So what do you think other African countries can learn from you, including coaching? You are using, local, I don't know how to put it now, coaches from Senegal, to handle your senior national team and other national teams. For example, in Nigeria, we have expatriates and we still don't have the desired result.
You see, first of all, people must be patient. Patient is a value. Patient is a value. So in Africa, some people are in a hurry. You want to maybe to see something right now and to harvest right now. It's not possible. What we do is, if you see our national team, we win the trophy because this coach was been coaching the team for 7 years. Some people were saying, some fans were saying, no, let's sack him. But our FA, the vision of the president and our FA, is that we have to be patient and we have to work hard in order to get result. So.
Okay. All right. And
sorry.
Okay.
Fasten. Okay. So and we focus on it.
Okay.
Then after then, we win the trophy. So and as well, we have to believe in our national coaches, because if we believe things can be possible. Why do we go and look for some people who are at the same level of those who are staying at home? We have to respect our people. So by respecting our people, for sure, the result will come.
Okay.
And be patient.
Okay.
Be patient.
Okay.
I will emphasize on this.
Okay, be patient. So what is the target for the Senegalese, FA, let's say ahead of 2026, also the Nations Cup next year, there is the under-20 World Cup coming up, the under-17 Africa Cup of Nations. What are the targets? Are there laid down plans for these competitions and the targets?
Listen, we are champion. We have to be champion again. So, but team are working hard. All the teams are working hard. All those countries are working hard. So, if we don't work hard, we won't be champion again. So, what we have to tell the people is just Senegal is coming to be champion again. Now, what will happen at the due date of the Africa Cup?
Okay. Senegal coming back to be champion again. Let me just ask you a little bit about Sadio Mane. We watch a lot of Premier League here in Nigeria, and a lot of people feel that Sadio Mane is because he left Liverpool. That's why Liverpool are not doing well right now. What do you think about that? Were you happy he left Liverpool at some point to Bayern Munich?
You see, he did his time in Liverpool, so it was the time for him to leave Liverpool and go to look for another challenge. So he did all what he can to make Liverpool at the top level. So I don't want to speak about what happened, why he left Liverpool, but for me it was the time for him to leave Liverpool and go look for another challenge. Now, if Liverpool is not able to do something better, or Liverpool is doing something better, this is another comment. I don't want to be involved in kind of.
Okay. And finally, what would be your advice to the rest of Africa listening to you right now?
I want to tell to Africa to really believe in our possibility, in our people, to believe in our competence, and to be patient. People must be patient. The FA must be patient. I cannot. It's just like some FA. After one competition, after one tournament, the coach one defeat and they sack the coach. That one is not fair. We have to be patient because sometimes patience is the key of success. So let African be patient and work for the long-term services.
Okay. Well, I have a colleague in the studio who would like to ask you one question. Samsidine Diattar.
Afternoon, sir. Yeah, so my question is for the under-20 boys, the defending champions now. What is the plan for them transitioning to the senior team of the Senegalese team?
Come again?
My question is, what is the plan for the under-20 team to get to the senior team of Senegal? What is the plan for them now that they are defending champions of under-20?
For the under-20?
Yeah,
yes,
their plan for
them to transit into the senior national team of Senegal, the Teranga Lions.
The players, you mean?
Yes, the players.
Even for this coming squad, we're going to play against Mozambique. So the coach was about to call some two players from this under-20 for the national squad.
Wow.
Them to get to know exactly how things happen in national A team. But at the same time, we have under 23 game against Mali, so we have to put all our opportunities to be qualified for Olympic Games as well. So that's why they did not come. But I think for the next fixtures, maybe we will be able to have some 2 or 3 players from the Chan national team and the under 23 national team.
No, that's fantastic progress, and we wish Senegal all the best. You should also know we support you right here in Nigeria, especially at the World Cup.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Abuja, the voice of Samsidine Diattar, an executive committee member out there in the Senegalese Football Federation, talking to us right there from Senegal. Just wanted to learn 1 or 2 things, how they've been able to get their football to winning everything on the continent of Africa.
Yeah.
Chan, AFCON, under 20, beach soccer, just under 17, left out for now. I don't know.
Now, exactly.
Yeah, left out for now. I don't know what you gained in that, Toby. Maybe you could just recap for us.
I think what stood out to me the most is when he talked about these academies and how they are regulated, which means there's a certain standard that these academies have to attain for them to be able to get players into the national teams, depending on the age range. So I think that's one key thing for me, because if you have those kind of standards, it means that all those academies are going to be trying to attain that standard, which means they will want their own players from the academies to get to the national team. And it breeds competition among those. Imagine if your academy, you have 10 academies, for instance, and these are the top of the academies, and then they get to the senior team. Of course, you know they are getting quality from that age range, and you know that eventually you'll be able to get the top quality compared to other African nations. So I think that's what stood out to me the most, the fact that they are regulating this academy, and you're not just having an academy because of the sake of an individuality of the thing. And I think at the end of the day, if you have standards that you keep to, eventually it will translate to these players and to improve their quality, whether they are at home or abroad.
Fantastic. But what do we have in Nigeria? You can just wake up, set up an academy, no qualified coaches, no good, living standard. These children don't go to school. They only play football. You just keep them somewhere. You say you're running an academy. So maybe that's where we need to start. I mean, he said, look, you need to have a good grade, grade in school for you to continue, with the academy. But here in Nigeria, you just say, well, what do you do? Say, I play football. What school do you attend? Football is everything. So you understand? And
football is not everything.
Yes. He continued, by saying the standard you have in Real Madrid is what you have in Generation
So that when they get there, eventually, they are not strangers.
They are not strangers. I mean, we in Nigeria, what we just do is, I just don't know. Everybody can just wake up, have an academy. They don't even have training pitches. They just walk around, train on, no good coaches, no qualified coaches. They just, and we want to produce good players. That's why you see now, we talk more, Abuja. Don't let me just, take over everything. Let me open the phone lines. What have you been able to learn from the executive committee member of Senegal, Samsidine Diattar, explaining how Senegal have been able to find their gold. And he says patience is a virtue. He says, my advice to, other African countries to be patient. When he said patient, should we be patient with our FA? Should the FA be patient with the coaches? Should we be patient with the players? What exactly do you think he was talking about?
To be honest with you, I think it's not to be vague, but I think it's the whole plan. I assume that there's a plan for all these academies and all the coaching and the player development as well. So I think when he's talking about patience, obviously they had a plan about their coaching staff. He spoke about the fact that he had been coaching for 7 years, even though they had failures. And the FA chairman, I suppose he was talking about, was stuck with the vision that, no, this is the person to lead us to the promised land. And he was right. So I think when you're patient with your plan, a carefully worked out plan, eventually you will reap the reward. So I think over here, there's different facets to what we do with the Super Eagles, and there's no concrete plan for the whole team as a whole, even for the NFF and the Super Eagles as well, even the Super Falcons to a large extent. So I think what he's talking about there is the patience of the plan as well, because I know they must have had some boundaries or some circumstances that they had to overcome with the coach, and that's just one that was the highlighted one, because even with the coach, you may have maybe some other players who are not developing as they want to. So I don't think he was talking about patience in one particular aspect. I just believe that he was talking about patience with the whole plan of having an end goal and striving towards that end goal.
All right, I see your messages. You can call in to have your say. We'll give you the lineup for the Arsenal game. This one is from the WhatsApp portal. It says, Coach, you are just disturbing yourself over our football development. I'm not disturbing myself because
it's part of what we are. Like I said, this thing about football in Nigeria, it's not because we like football so much. It's going to help the whole country.
It's going to help the whole country.
I mean, we've spoken about so many times.
I mean, how can... Okay, maybe when I become 60 years or something, I'll sit down...
It's too late. That's when it's good.
I mean, I'll sit down watching the same kind of football, heartbreak every time. No big good build-up, nothing. You just hope and pray. Inshallah.
We reject it.
No, we need to work now. That's why I'm working. And he says, Coach, you are just disturbing yourself about our football development. I want to let you know that a tree can't produce a good fruit if the roots of the tree isn't doing well in the ground. What I'm saying is that our leaders are corrupt and you can't expect anything different. Maxwell from Kubwa. And this one comes in, it says, what is really the problem that Nigeria was once a model for other countries is understudy. When it comes to youth teams and suddenly Nigerian teams are no longer qualifying for competitions, is it that people are just interested in monetary aspect without doing the actual football work? Leo with that question. This one says, good afternoon to you, members of the 18 Bunmi and Toby. My name is Ajayi Dare from Wumba, Abuja. Well, I take your message, Ajayi, but let me take this call. All right, you can call back 070-09510-000. Football development and coaching development in Nigeria and Africa. What do you think needs to be done? Let's look at the Gambia and the Senegal model. What can Nigeria learn? Hello, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, the Honorable Sports Prime Minister.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Frenzy. Your name, where you calling from?
Thank you. My name is Mr. Emmanuel Bassi, and I'm calling from Suleja.
Nice to have you, Emmanuel Bassi. Did you listen to Diattar and what he said on the show?
I did.
Oh, let's talk then.
I did. And there is one tiny matter really that I don't want us to forget.
Okay.
Apart from regulating the football academy, apart from providing infrastructure and good coaches, he made mention of one thing, and I wish we could do that in Nigeria also. He said that when you are caught cheating in age, they dismiss you from the academy. Did you hear him say so, sir?
Yeah, yes. He said so. He said so.
Yes. I will be very grateful if this is emphasized in the conversation we are going to have and in future.
Okay.
In Nigeria here, academies even encourage falsification of age. They are so bold. They may not write. They are so bold. They will send these same children back to their schools to initiate the process of falsification.
Okay.
In Nigeria, and it's a serious matter.
Okay.
But there in Senegal, if you try it, they dismiss you. If you do it in Nigeria here, the entire community will tell you, why are you doing this to our son? Why are you doing this to our daughter? And in the long run, it doesn't help us. So why do we have to start what will not help us in future? That is the tiny thing I picked, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's get in more calls. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Bunmi Blair.
Yes, good afternoon and welcome to the Frenzy. Your name, where you calling from?
My name is Christian. I'm calling from Saboido in Airport Road.
Let's talk, Christian. What did you pick from the interview with Diattar?
I heard everything he said.
Okay.
And what I want to tell you is that apart from the academic regulation by the government and doing everything right about football academy development, there's two viruses that is killing our football in Nigeria. That is tribalism and religious intolerance. Tribalism and religious intolerance. I don't know, Bunmi Blair, if you could remember, 1994, when West Ham is coaching Nigeria, we have a good talent of footballers without minding where they come from.
Okay. Whoa, sorry about that. Please do call back. Let's get some more reactions. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Bunmi.
Yes, good afternoon and welcome. Your name, where you calling from?
Ihanacho calling from Bunmi.
All right, Ihanacho, did you listen to Samsidine Diattar, the executive committee member from Senegal?
Yeah, I followed the interview up. The only thing I learned from him is that we don't believe in ourselves. That is the one major thing. And we are not doing the right thing at the right time. Whenever you believe in yourself and do the right thing at the right time, then we'll get it right.
Oh, that's
the only thing I have to say.
Wow, that's super. Thank you very much for joining in on Football Frenzy. We hope those in position of power are listening and are learning one or two things. And I remember yesterday, I was at the FA Cup final, the FCT FA Cup final, where EFCC played against Milan Turkey, and we had the EFCC chairman, joining, Mr. Bauer. He was in, and his team lost on penalties eventually. But we asked him a series of questions, including why has he not touchlighted, the Nigeria Football Federation over corruptions and all the likes of it. And he said, look, you need to bring up these things. Tell us this, is happening. This is happening. We need to look, the EFCC needs to look at this and look at that. So I'll try and play the interview, on the show so that you guys can listen to, the chairman EFCC when he said, I said, you say corruption is here. You need to bring it, to the attention of the EFCC so that they will decide whether to investigate or not. This one says, you didn't put your name, you didn't put your location, so it will be difficult for me to read the message, okay? So put your name, your location. Another one says, good afternoon, Football Friends. My name is Osh from Abuja. It says, the real issue is that we don't have proper academies that is properly regulated to repeatedly produce stars. Also, the issue of football age is a real problem that affects the progress of our youth in Nigeria football. Lastly, the FA needs to choose the right coaches and give them time to flourish. Great show, he says. Thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Hello, Blair.
Yes, good afternoon and welcome to the Frenzy.
I'm calling from Day.
All right, let's talk.
From the man's I understand that we need to develop our own football academy and be patient. You remember when you talk about their coach, he coached for about 7 years and people were clamoring for the coach to be sacked.
Yeah, 7 good years.
7 good years. But our own, when we hire after 2 terms, everybody will be clamoring, go away. He said that we should be patient, that we are not to be in a hurry, that we want to get everything at the same time. It doesn't work that way. That is one thing. We have to look at that in Nigeria. And what is more, he said that we should only trust on our own indigenous coaches. When sometimes those ones we hire from outside are not better than the one we have in our home. Why is it that we don't develop we don't encourage them, but rather we'll go and look for one that are even lesser than the one we have at home, and will not give them time to flourish. So I think if we can take example from him, Nigeria will, go into another level. Right?
All right, thank you very much. Maybe, he has said a whole lot of things about maybe Nigerian, what should we call it now? Nigerian FA should go, send a delegation to Senegal. Yes, to go and learn. Every time we want to go to Real Madrid, we want to go to Spain, we want to go to England to go learn how they are doing things. But why not let's start from Senegal? Let's start from Gambia.
For one, it's going to be less expensive.
Apart from being less expensive, when you see these things firsthand in Senegal,
then you believe that
Morocco,
you can replicate it. It's the same environment, almost the same environment.
Exactly. If it can happen in Morocco, if it can happen, in Senegal, it means we can do it here in Nigeria. Because I remember some of my colleagues that went out for competitions in Morocco, when they tell you the kind of facilities they see in the Moroccan FA, owned facilities. You wonder if we are in the same Africa. You wonder if we are in the same Africa. All right. Well, Abuja, building up to the English Premier League game coming up. That's Arsenal against Crystal Palace. Let's see if we can bring you a pre-match interview by Mikel Arteta.
Please let's have it quiet.
All right, trying to bring you the interview. Mikel Arteta speaking before the game, he's made some changes. Some players that we thought would not be making it are now, starting for Arsenal in this game. So you can also tell us your predictions ahead of this game. What do you expect starting for Arsenal? Ramsdale, White, Holding, Gabriel, Zinchenko, Odegaard, Partey, Xhaka, Saka, Trossard, and Gabriel Martinelli. Well, Arsenal makes 6 changes from the Arsenal side, that lost in the Europa League to Sporting Lisbon. That tells you he did not play his best team, against Lisbon. Well, returning to the starting lineup, you have Ben White, Thomas Partey, Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard, Rob Holding, Leandro Trossard. So I don't know. Maybe he underrated, Sporting, or he just thought, no, we want to prioritize, the English Premier League. But let's just take some few reactions before we finally, focus on that game and, discuss it. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon and welcome. Your name, where you're calling from?
My name is Jerry.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Jerry, where are you calling from? Okay. All right. Nice to have you, Jerry. Let's talk.
God bless you. God bless your heart. What I understand in that matter, firstly, unity of the country matters a lot. When country have a unity, I'm telling you, all this corruption, all this poverty, economic rise, they will get it. What Nigeria have to do now is just to have a unity. Because when you affect eye, it will affect the nose. When economy is not, you understand? When Nigeria is a unit, you will see people are lying just to make it. You see person 20 years, you say is a 19 years or 18 years, just to make it. Parents are advising the children how to make it. You understand?
Yeah.
So in the term of developing, Nigeria have to calm down. First of all, I'm telling you, first you have money to develop academy. I'm telling you, jump into policy because we think that where money come first, that where money flow. So Nigeria have to get it right first before.
Okay. Well, since we lost that call, this one says, good afternoon, Frenzy. Bunmi, kindly recap yesterday's league result, especially the EPL Uchenna from Duse. Uchenna, we've done that, but I will do that again, when we properly get into the swing for the match. My name is Igla from Gwarimpa. It says, we are focused, especially our leaders. They come into power without plan. Our own coaches. Everybody seems to be a coach and not good. We always want result immediately rather than patiently holding on. All right, thank you very much. That was also touched by Samsidine. This one says, good afternoon, Bunmi. How are you? I'm doing great. It says, I love the way you answer, enlighten us. Bless you. Thank you. Our problem with our academy is that we want to make it fast. We no want stress. They look at the success of Ronaldo and Messi. They don't look at their sacrifices. Another one is corruption, not putting the right people there. My predictions for Arsenal match, Arsenal will lose today. Daddy Osinachi Haguma, a.k.a. and not the likes from Abuja. Thank you very much for calling in. Hello, good afternoon to you. All right, Toby, is it possible to have the Senegalese model in Nigeria, where you choose probably the right coach? I mean, the right coach, not like, oh, it's my brother, it's my sister, we come from the same region. Choose the right coach, best qualified for the national team from the local scene, and we all support him. We give him a 5-year contract. And probably the under 20, under 17, we have someone there also. Yeah, the right person.
Long term.
Give him a at least 5 years contract. I'll pay him regularly. Not today they receive salary. Next tomorrow they don't receive what we have here. And also, is it possible? Can we do the right things? Is it possible to regulate academies, make them do the right thing? It says the quality you have in Madrid is what you have in Generation Foot out there in Senegal. So that are these things possible in Nigeria?
Yes, I think it's possible. I just believe that we are not treating it with the right frame of mind. And when I say that, we are like one of the colours, some of the colours I've highlighted, we are too focused on the Super Eagles. I think for me, where it starts is maybe under 17, under 20, it doesn't really matter as long as it's from the development side of things. Now, if you have a long-term plan for that side of Super Eagles, it's easy for you to translate it to the senior squad of the Super Eagles long term. Now, what I mean by that is, if you have a coach who has been with the boys for 4 or 5 years, this coach knows these players, so he knows their strengths and their weaknesses, how he's able to transform them, and how he's able to make them perform on a good day, right? So if you now, for instance, now you're looking for a long-term coach and you employ this coach A that was the coach of the under 17 for 5 years with the Super Eagles. Now, this coach has an understanding of what has happened with the feeder team. And I'm not necessarily saying that he's going to pick all of them and put them in the senior team, but he's able to translate them gradually into the Super Eagles squad. And I wouldn't want to defer to the league now, but if these players have been developed properly, a lot of them or a number of them will be in the MPFL, which means they will have had game experience, whether it is local or in the CAF tournaments, which means they are getting experience gradually. What that means is you are not able to translate them from what they were achieving on the feeder teams to the senior squad. Now, granted, they may not have had experience in the senior squad, but experience only comes from playing. Like we spoke about it in the other parts, people criticizing Bunmi for being included in the team. How do you want it to be in the Super Eagles when he's not there now? He cannot be in the Super Eagles later on if he's not there now. He only has to start from somewhere, which is the Super Eagles. So I think it starts from the under 17 or 20 team. If you're able to have a long-term plan, then it is easier for you to translate to the Super Eagles. Not just when you have World Cup or AFCON, you say, let's bring this coach, let's bring these players, let's go and bring all these players that want to win the AFCON. No, it starts from the feeder team. When you're not able to graduate these players to the Super Eagles, then you cannot easily transform your plan from the feeder team to the main team, which is the Super Eagles. So for me, I think it cannot be overemphasized the importance of the development team of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, because if you're able to groom those players properly, you are going to get 100 or Siemens in the next 10 years. It's as simple as that.
Wow. And we have the population.
Of course.
We have the talents. They always say. Well, a lot of you are watching on YouTube. Well, if you're not watching on YouTube, you can join. You search for Nigeria Info FM Abuja. Well, you see what is happening live. Okay, I see a couple of your messages there. Menasa says watching Bunmi for the very first time. Yeah, that's the little boy right there. Dena says watching you live, Bunmi, and you look good. Thank you very much. And I also see you. Last Slams. It says, nice to see you, Coach Bunmi. Where is Toby behind the camera? Well, you saw Toby some few minutes ago. This one is coming from Emma Paul. It says, Bunmi, Paul of Old Customs Quarters, Maraba, is listening from Abraka Delta State. Thank you. Nice to know you're listening. Harun Abdul says, good afternoon, guys. Hope our FA is listening to the advice from the Senegalese. Well, we all hope they are listening. If they are not listening, we will post it to their various, timelines so that they can listen. We will not get that because
cannot get that.
Some of them are getting old now,
Exactly,
but when we are in their age, or we want things to change so that we can all enjoy it. Obviously that's what we want. We have a few minutes before we end this session of football frenzy, and go to talk about some very interesting other topics. But come on, let's take some few calls and some reactions from the YouTube, from the WhatsApp, and also from the Facebook. This one says, good afternoon to you, Bunmi. Says, happy Sunday, Sports Prime Minister. I follow you and listening to the gentleman talk about football development. Anyway, Nigeria should have proper planning, football academy, and the football authority should shun corruption. Elder Unifade, from Lagos, Salolo, Lagos. Thank you, Elder. Some people were, earlier today I was having some, on the show yesterday actually, they were having a discussion about Bamayi, and they said they don't know the academy it came from. If academies were regulated and you have list of academies in Nigeria and they have to fulfill some particular criteria before they can be academies, there won't be issues about what is Yum Yum Academy or what is Garuka Academy. There will be no issues. Everybody knows the standard. We know the academies in Benue State. We know the academies in Sokoto State. We know the ones in Lagos. But obviously, things have not been done properly in Nigeria.
I think, to be honest with you, Coach, I think in as much as there's talent in the Super Eagles, if we want to win the World Cup, for instance, now in the next 10 years, we should forget about the Super Eagles now. the development team is way more important. And the reason is the pressure is less there. So you have more time to groom these players. If, for instance, now, just like our under-20 boys, they were able to get third place. Now, they had a good tournament. It's as simple as that. The pressure is not as much at that level. So if you're able to groom them from there and you make them transition to the Super Eagles over the next 5-6 years, then you know what you are capable of getting from these players that you worked with before.
All right. Well, guys, we need to go for a break right now. When we come back from this break, we just round off, all the talk about, football development in Nigeria, in Africa, and coaching development. But we need to go for this break. Don't go anywhere. It's Football Frenzy on 95.1 Nigeria Info Abuja. Keep dropping those messages. I'll give voices to them.
This is Nigeria